When it comes to relationships, age is just a number, but attraction, admiration, and emotional chemistry. That's where the real magic happens. Younger women who are drawn to older men often express their feelings in ways that go far beyond words. It's not always about grand declarations or obvious signs. It's the subtle glances, the respectful tone, the deeper conversations, and the way they carry themselves around him. These women don't just see an older man. They see stability, strength, and soulful intelligence in this video. We'll dive deep into the subtle yet powerful ways younger women treat older men when they're genuinely attracted to them, from the spark in their eyes when they talk to him to the gentle way they touch his arm during a conversation. These are the real signs of connection. These moments may seem small, but they are loaded with meaning. Get ready to uncover the charming psychological cues that often go unnoticed. The small but mighty behaviors that reveal when a younger woman is falling. Not just for a man, but for the life he represents. This isn't about fantasy, it's about emotional truth. And it's time to understand what's really happening beneath the surface. One compliments on maturity and experience. One of the clearest signs that a younger woman is genuinely attracted to an older man is the way she compliments his maturity, wisdom, and life experience. But it's not just flattery. It's reverence. When she praises the way he's handled life's challenges, or how he speaks with clarity and confidence, she's revealing her admiration for his emotional intelligence. There's something irresistibly appealing about a man who's lived, who's been through pain, growth, success, and loss, and still stands tall, grounded, and gracious. She sees him not as just older, but as evolved, someone who's been shaped by time, not worn down by it. You'll notice how she listens differently. She leans in, not just physically, but emotionally when he speaks. Her eyes light up, not because he's telling a joke, but because he's telling the truth. She values his insights. She absorbs his stories with genuine curiosity. She respects the strength it took to get where he is, and she sees that strength as a kind of quiet masculine beauty. Her compliments go beyond surface-level praise, like, "You're so smart." Instead, she says things like, "I love the way you think." Or, "That's such a unique perspective." She admires his calm, collected approach to conflict. She might say, "You're so composed. How do you stay so grounded?" That's attraction wrapped in admiration. And it's not just the words. It's her body language. The soft smile, the way she tilts her head while listening. The prolonged eye contact. These are the moments when attraction transcends looks and dives deep into emotional respect. When she talks to her friends about him, she might not even focus on his appearance. Instead, she'll say, "He just gets it." Or, "He makes me feel so calm and understood." That's because his presence, shaped by years of living, creates an emotional safety net, a rare kind of attraction that's rooted in depth and maturity. To engaging in deep, meaningful conversations, unlike the surface-level chatter that fills most daily interactions. When a younger woman is drawn to an older man, she doesn't just want to talk. She wants to connect deeply, intellectually, emotionally. She's not interested in discussing the weather or the latest celebrity drama. Instead, she finds herself craving conversations that stretch her mind and touch her soul. She seeks out those rare, lingering moments where they dive into rich topics: philosophy, human nature, the meaning of success, the wounds that shaped them, the lessons that stuck. She becomes fascinated by the way he explains things, not just what he knows, but how he knows it. His voice, calm and reflective, pulls her in, not with volume, but with depth. And here's what makes it even more powerful. He treats her as an equal. He doesn't dismiss her ideas or talk over her. He invites her into his world, respects her opinion, and genuinely listens when she speaks. This creates something rare. A relationship built not just on chemistry, but mutual growth. A meeting of minds. Her attraction is not just romantic, it's intellectual. She begins to see him as a teacher, a storyteller, a man with layers of insight. She's eager to explore, and he sees her not as a child, but as a bright, curious soul, someone who challenges and energizes him. It's in these conversations where real intimacy is born, Not in touch, not in gifts, but in understanding the way she leans forward when he reflects on his past, the way she laughs at a story from his youth, the way they fall silent for a moment after a profound exchange, sharing that unspoken lingering energy. Those are the quiet flames that signal a deep emotional connection. 3 body language signs of attraction when words aren't spoken. The body still speaks, and when a younger woman is attracted to an older man, her body language begins to shift in subtle yet powerful ways. These changes might seem small to an untrained eye, but to someone paying attention, they speak volumes. She may not even realize she's doing it at first. A soft brush of her hand against his, when handing over a cup, a gentle pat on his back when he makes her laugh. These light touches aren't accidental. They're her way of testing closeness, expressing warmth and saying, "I feel safe with you." Her posture around him often becomes more open, relaxed shoulders, uncrossed arms, slightly leaning in. When seated, she may choose the chair closer to him. Even if others are available in conversations, she might tilt her head slightly, an age-old subconscious signal of curiosity and receptiveness. And when he speaks, her eyes don't wander. They're locked in, full of light and attention. And then there's proximity. If she constantly finds ways to be near him, walking beside him, sitting beside him, at group gatherings, brushing past him in subtle ways, it's not coincidence she's drawn to his energy and closeness, becomes her silent way of staying connected. When you combine these elements, eye contact, touch, closeness, they create a new language, a language of warmth, of interest, of chemistry, and that language often says more than her words ever could. 4. Playful teasing and light flirting. One of the most delightful and revealing signs of a younger woman's attraction to an older man is the way she flirts, but her style isn't loud or over the top. It's subtle, charming, laced with wit and warmth. She doesn't need to be overly forward. Instead, she playfully dances in the space between admiration and affection. She might tease him about his knowledge, joking with a sparkle in her eyes. "You've lived through more decades than Google's been around. How do you know everything?" But beneath that humor lies genuine admiration. Her teasing isn't about mocking, it's about connecting. She's saying, "I see your wisdom, I enjoy it, and I'm not afraid to challenge it in a way that's fun and flirtatious." She may laugh and call him a walking encyclopedia, but what she's really doing is highlighting the contrast between their ages, then flipping it into a strength. She's not intimidated by his experience, she's drawn to it, and her teasing is her way of saying, "You fascinate me, and I want to be around you more." Her body language joins the fun, a soft nudge on the arm, a playful grin after a clever comment, or even a subtle wink when she catches him looking at her. All of it is intentional. All of it is her way of creating a safe, engaging space where attraction can bloom without pressure. This kind of flirtation, lighthearted, respectful, and sprinkled with admiration, creates a powerful emotional chemistry. It tells the older man, "You intrigue me. You entertain me, and I want to be close to you not just mentally, but emotionally." Find 5. Expressing interest in his hobbies and interests. Another deeply telling sign, she starts asking questions about the things he loves, whether it's music, books, sports, cooking, woodworking, photography, hiking, or something totally obscure. She shows up with a curious heart and open ears. She might ask him about that old guitar leaning in the corner of his room. Not just what songs he plays, but how long he's been playing, who inspired him, why he stopped, and what made him start again. She's not making small talk. She's digging deeper into the things that make him who he is. And when she joins in, whether that means watching a movie, he recommends walking beside him on a trail, or even just listening to him talk about a book he loves. It's her subtle way of saying, "I want to understand you beyond the surface. I want to be part of your world." What makes this behavior powerful is how intentional it is. She's not pretending she's genuinely interested, and that curiosity is driven by emotional attraction. By diving into his hobbies, she's discovering more than just his pastimes. She's learning about what brings him joy, what calms him, what challenges him. She might even ask him to teach her how to fish, how to appreciate jazz, how to brew the perfect cup of coffee. These invitations aren't random. They're intimate. They're her way of stepping into his rhythm. And every shared hobby becomes a new thread in the bond they're weaving together, looking for his opinion or advice. One of the most heartfelt, psychologically rich signs of a younger woman's attraction to an older man is when she seeks his opinion or advice not out of neediness, but out of deep respect. When she comes to him with questions, decisions, or doubts, she's not just looking for a solution, she's looking for him. It could be something simple. Do you think I should take this job, or what would you do if you were in my place? But beneath the surface, what she's truly saying is, your wisdom matters to me, I trust you, I value the way you think. And that trust is the gateway to intimacy when she asks for his guidance. It's often in a tone softer than usual. Thoughtful, almost reverent, there's a spark in her eyes as she listens, not just to his words, but to the calm confidence behind them in these moments. Her admiration becomes more visible. She's opening a door to deeper connection, showing vulnerability and inviting him into the inner chambers of her thoughts. She might nod slowly as he speaks, her eyes locked on his, processing every word. She might smile afterward, not just because she liked his advice, but because she felt seen, heard, protected. And when she follows that advice or circles back to it later, it's a clear sign that she values not only what he says, but who he is. This exchange also gives him a chance to share from his life a moment, to reflect, to mentor, to connect on a soul level. And for her, it creates emotional gravity. The more she turns to him, the more their bond solidifies. What starts as a question becomes an expression of care. A silent thank you wrapped in curiosity. 7. Making efforts to impress. When a younger woman is truly drawn to an older man, you'll notice something else. She starts to glow around Kim, not because she's trying too hard, but because she wants to show up as her best self. She wants to impress him, not with grand gestures, but with intention, grace, and subtlety before meeting him. She may spend extra time choosing an outfit, not because she feels she has to, but because she wants to. Maybe it's a classic dress that reflects her personality. Maybe it's a new hairstyle, or just a touch of perfume that feels elegant and soft. Each choice she makes carries silent meaning. I want you to notice me. I want you to remember me, and he will, because her effort isn't loud. It's thoughtful. You may see her adjusting her posture when she walks into the room, standing a little taller, moving with quiet confidence. She's not seeking attention from everyone, just from him. She smiles more when she talks to him. She listens with genuine warmth, and when he compliments her even subtly, you'll see her face light up. Not with vanity, but with gratitude. She might reference things he's mentioned in the past, showing she's been listening. She might surprise him with something small. A book he once said he loved, a restaurant. She remembered him mentioning these actions, though tiny on the surface, carry the emotional weight of someone who's paying attention. Someone who's invested. This desire to impress isn't about superficiality. It's about presence. She's saying, you matter to me. I want to show you my best because you bring out the best in me. 8. Subtle jealousy or protectiveness. When a younger woman is emotionally invested in an older man, you may notice something soft but undeniable, moments of subtle jealousy or quiet protectiveness. These aren't dramatic outbursts or possessive behavior. Instead, they reveal themselves in flickers, fleeting expressions, slight shifts in tone, and protective instincts that come from care. Not control. Let's say another woman enters the room and starts talking to him. The younger woman won't interrupt, but she might become. Still, her eyes might shift slightly toward the interaction, her conversation pausing for a second as she assesses the dynamic. She might gently adjust her body posture to stay near him or inject a casual comment into the conversation, just enough to remind him, I'm here, I'm part of this moment. Her subtle actions speak louder than words. She's claiming emotional space, not with confrontation, but with quiet confidence in group settings. She may lean closer or laugh a little more freely when he says something funny, reaffirming her presence and connection. And if he mentions another woman in conversation, you might see her expression shift ever so slightly. Maybe a pause before she responds or a question to clarify, as if needing to understand just how important that person is to him. She may also protect their bond in gentle ways. If someone criticizes him or makes light of something personal, she's quick to step in, not with aggression but with soft defense. She'll bring the focus back to his strengths, share a story that paints him in a better light, or shift the tone to protect his emotional space. And when she shares inside jokes or brings up shared experiences in the presence of others, it's a subtle but powerful way of reinforcing the closeness they have. It says this is ours. This connection is special. This protectiveness isn't rooted in fear, it's rooted in care. She feels something sacred is blooming between them, and her gentle guarding of that connection is her way of saying, I don't want to lose what we have. It's quiet, but it's real. 9. Consistent, comfortable communication and initiating contact. Perhaps one of the most overlooked yet telling signs of a younger woman's attraction is her effort to consistently stay in touch when she's drawn to an older man. She doesn't wait for him to chase her. Instead, she reaches out frequently, warmly, and with intention. She may send him a text during the day, not just to ask something, but to share something. A joke, a memory, a photo, a thought that reminded her of him. These little digital breadcrumbs are more than conversation starters. They're connection builders. Her tone is casual, never demanding, but there's always care behind her words. She might say, just thought of you when I saw this. Or this reminded me of our conversation. These small messages carry a big message. You're on my mind. I enjoy sharing my world with you. Sometimes she'll call not to have long, serious discussions, but just to hear his voice, to laugh, to feel closer. And when she does, her tone is often soft, relaxed. She makes the call feel easy, like a natural extension of their bond. More importantly, she initiates. She doesn't play games or wait for 3 days to respond. She creates opportunities to meet in person. Maybe she suggests coffee, a shared activity, or just a walk. Not because she's bored, but because time with him feels meaningful. Her communication is consistent but never clingy. She respects his time while still letting him know, I value you. I want to be part of your day. Over time, these small but frequent gestures form a rhythm, a heartbeat of emotional connection that beats even when they're apart. Every call, every message, every invitation is a quiet confession. I want you in my life, not just in moments, but in continuity. When a younger woman is truly attracted to an older man, she doesn't always say it outright, but her actions reveal everything from the way she listens to the way she looks at him, from her thoughtful compliments to the warmth of her consistent communication. She builds a bond rooted in respect, admiration, and emotional depth. She doesn't chase thrills. She seeks substance. She doesn't just fall for his experience, she's drawn to the man it's made him. And through every shared moment, every meaningful conversation, every gentle touch and spark of laughter, she says without words, I see you, I value you, and I want to grow with you.